Let's be honest, folks, we've all seen it. The sons and daughters of prominent politicians gliding into positions of power. They haven't exactly climbed the ladder. More like they took the express elevator, the one reserved for family friends. Nepotism in politics isn't just bad optics. It's a stench that undermines democracy. It suggests that power is inherited, not earned. It tells us that who you know matters more than what you know. But what if we could disrupt this cycle? What if, and hear me out on this, we made politicians pass an exam? I know, it sounds crazy. But stick with me. Imagine a world where getting elected wasn't about inheriting your dad's donors list. Imagine being able to say, look, they passed the same test as everyone else. We test doctors, lawyers, even hairdressers. Seriously, have you seen some people's hair? Why not the people making decisions about our lives? Okay, maybe radical is a bit strong, but it's definitely different. We're so used to the same old political games, we've come to accept nepotism as the norm. But imagine the possibilities if we actually raised the bar. Think of it like a job interview. You wouldn't hire someone just because their parent worked there, would you? You'd want to see their qualifications, their experience. You'd want to know they could actually do the job. An exam wouldn't be a magic bullet, but it could be a powerful tool. It could help us separate the truly qualified candidates from the political offspring just looking to punch their ticket. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty. What would an MP exam actually look like? First and foremost, it would need to cover the basics of governance. We're talking about the constitution, the legislative process, how to actually run a country, looking at you, certain world leaders. But it can't just be a boring civics quiz. We need to test critical thinking skills, problem-solving abilities, and ethical judgment. After all, we're not electing robots, or at least we shouldn't be. We need leaders who can analyze complex issues, weigh different perspectives, and make tough decisions. The exam should reflect that. Section 4, leveling the playing field of fairness in testing. Now, I know what you're thinking, John, what about fairness? Couldn't people cheat? Couldn't the exam be rigged? Those are valid concerns, but they're not insurmountable. We already have standardized tests in place for everything from college admissions to professional licensing. We can borrow from those best practices to ensure a level playing field. Think blind grading, where the examiners don't know the identity of the test taker. Think external review, where independent experts monitor the process for bias or irregularities. The key is to make the system as transparent and accountable as possible. We need to be able to prove that the exam is a fair and accurate measure of a candidate's abilities. No backroom deals, no legacy admissions, just a level playing field where the best and brightest can rise to the top. Section 5, beyond the exam hall qualifications and appeals. Of course, an exam alone isn't enough. We also need to consider other qualifications. Things like minimum education requirements, relevant work experience, and even, dare I say it, a basic understanding of the issues facing the people they aim to represent. And let's not forget about an appeals process. What if someone has a bad test day? What if they freeze under pressure? There needs to be a mechanism for candidates to challenge their scores or request a retest. This could involve an independent panel of experts who review appeals and make impartial decisions. The goal is to create a system that is both rigorous and fair, one that identifies the most qualified candidates while also allowing for human error and extenuating circumstances. Section 6. A multi-pronged approach. Exams alone aren't enough. Let's be clear, I'm not suggesting that exams are the be-all and end-all solution to nepotism in politics. It's a complex problem that requires a multi-pronged approach. We need campaign finance reform to reduce the influence of wealthy donors. We need stronger ethics rules to prevent conflicts of interest. And yes, we need term limits to break up entrenched political dynasties. But in the fight against nepotism, exams could be a powerful tool in our arsenal. They could help us ensure that the people in power are there because they've earned it, not because of who their parents are. It's about time we demand more from our elected officials. It's time we put an end to political dynasties and create a system that truly reflects the will of the people. So the next time you hear about another politician's kid running for office, ask yourself, could they even pass the test?